0, 1. Let's get started.
Okay, let's dig into this. Okay, we need some parts off of A and D, D2, D3A, D3B, D4, P28 times 2. Oh my, this is interesting. Okay, so I think this is, so this is A. I need the, oh, okay. Well, I don't need A until this part, so I need this first. So we need D4, D3, we need the Ds. Get that out of the box. Oh, wait, too many. Put that back. So here's D. I need a D4. Ah, okay. So, oh, look at that. So that's D1. I need a D4. So the D4 has the, wait a minute. That's D4. Could have swore that was that part. So there's D2s, D2 something else. Interesting. Okay, so this says D4 and it has a line to it. This is D1. I'm not sure how this works. So anyway, I think we need this piece. How do you get these out of there? Oh, wow. There's ever so slightly a bit of something, just a little, see that? Just a little piece holding it on there. That's interesting. So now, because of these little cuts, in woodworking you call them kerf cuts, now I can take this and it has some bendability to it. That is crazy. Gotta be careful though. So I got the D4. Now I need a D3B and a D3A. D3A and D3B. How do you get those out of there easily without risking breaking them? I think I need some tools here. Hang on, let me get some tools. Okay, I'm back with tools and things. So, bring out this so I can do some stuff and not damage the table. Table gets used for all kinds of stuff. So how do I get that out of there? Let's find out. If I can just apply a little pressure, very focused pressure, right? Just kind of pushing on it to see if it wants to pop loose like that maybe. If somebody else has built these before, would like to give me some advice, I'd be more than willing to listen. Right? It's hard to see how, I get the light to shine through, I can kind of see. It's such a tiny little connector, right? I don't even know if you can see it. Anyway. I use the sharp edge of the knife and then I reverse it to apply a little pressure without hopefully breaking it. I want it to just pop out, right? Be super simple. Doesn't seem like it wants to do that. Do I need to go on the back side? Oh, you can see it. You can see the little spots, right? There's one there, one there. You don't see it so well from the top side. So maybe I can score those a little bit. Crazy. All right. Oh geez, see, I just barely touched that one. It wants to fall out already. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. Okay. So I keep these like oriented so I know which one is the D3A and the D3B. But you can't get them out from that side. You can't cut the little ties. I'm guessing they don't even go all the way through. See how that went snap? This is much more tedious than a plastic model. But that's fine. Because sometimes the tedious parts are what give me the most satisfaction. Taking 15 minutes to do one little thing doesn't bother me at all. It's relaxing. Gets me to slow down, kind of focus. So, 3 parts, right? All right, let's get this back up here. Put that in its spot. What does this square mean? These are new symbols for me. Let's see if there's some instruction that tells me what those mean. Okay, here we go. Hang on. So, yeah, that's what that means. Can you see it? All right, hang on. Hang on. Yeah, that's what that means. What the hell? Oh, domo arigato. I have no idea. Well, it looks like I got to get some translation going on. Figure out what each one of these things means. So when I see this symbol, I know it means, you know, pay attention, don't do that. Oh, do that. You know, I don't know. So let me do some translating, make some notes, and hang on. I'll be back. Okay. Had to use my phone to do the translating, so you couldn't see all that. So here we are. Sand the part. Be careful. You know, be excited. You've done something. Check that the gears are engaged. Make sure it rotates smoothly. Spin it around, rotate it, you know, whatever. Apply wax. Interesting. 2 sets. Assemble in contrast. I don't know what that means. Step 1, step 2. I'm sure there might be well, not sure. I'm guessing there's a 3 and a 4 maybe. Surface. Surface. And then backside. Okay. So there you have it. Now we know everything we need to know. Okay, let's get everything back the way we wanted it to be. it should be. Okay. So this, okay, so this part has to conform. Am I supposed to sand? I'm supposed to do that. What was that one again? See, I've already forgotten. Surface. Okay. Here's our little sanding, you know, looks like a nail file, right? It's like when it's all said and done. Do you want any little nubs? See, look at that guy. Can you see it? Put it against the white background. So there's a little nub on there that we don't want. Let me just see if I can just trim that off real quick. It looks nubless. Got to inspect all the parts now. This is the same for plastic models or wooden models, right? So a flat surface on a curve, that's not going to be very helpful. I have more files and sandpaper and tools and things. I could really go to town on this, but I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. Okay. Are you bored already? Hope not. Oh my Lord. Look at that guy. That's horrible. See, and that's kind of the drawback, right? If we look at this and it's like, you know, this side looks great. But you look here and it's like, well, where the little attachment points are and you have to trim or sand or whatever, it's going to lose some of its color where the laser burnt through. Anyway, all right. So tabs and holes. Putting one in should be easy, right? Oh, see, that's got to fit into that, right? You got to like make sure you're pushing in such a way that you don't end up breaking the part. Okay, that was not the move. It has little arrows, like, yeah, it goes that way. I guess it could go on that way. I'm gonna have to invest some super glue for when I break one of these, right? You might be witness to me destroying a part. It fits in there kind of firmly. I guess that's the design, right? I gotta get this part tucked into that spot right there. Oh boy. And then that has to tuck in there, see? Okay. I don't know how well you can see that, but try and make sure that there's no gaps along this edge here. And it has a nice little curve to it, as nice as it can be. We'll see what happens when we get the other piece on, right? Okay, settle down. I mean, you look at this and it's like, those little tabs, it's like you could just snap that off by looking at it wrong. But at least now the part has a bit of a curve and a proper shape to it. Maybe that'll make putting this other piece on easier. So scared to put any pressure on it. I've done woodworking a lot in my life, never with small scale little pieces like this. Usually it's big pieces, building an end table or a planter stand, you know, whatever. I'm not an expert. As you can probably tell by looking at this video, I'm not an expert. Push too hard and this thing's just gonna go and explode into 100 pieces. So, okay. So nowhere does it tell me that I'm supposed to glue anything. This is, after all, called a wooden puzzle. Puzzles don't typically need glue, I guess, till later. Did I put those on right? Doesn't seem like those line up properly. Huh. So it shows, I get my pointing blade out, little arrows near the end with the flame, right? Is that an indicator to say that's where that's supposed to be? Because if so, I did it wrong. This one's right, this one's wrong. That's why these don't line up across from one another. Okay, so because it's not glued, I can just try pulling that back apart. Look at, I'm learning stuff. Zoidberg, anybody? Sound like a Zoidberg comment. Okay. All right. Okay. You guys saw that happening. You already knew that. Now that seems to line up better, right? Straight across. For whatever is going to attach it, because this is, I think, our front fender, I think. Doesn't say that anywhere, but, you know, that would have been nice. Okay. One piece assembled. We can move on. Now we need some D2s. Where's R2 when you need him? Where's my Ds? Oh, jeez. And you just touch these and a part just wants to pop out. Can you even see that? Is this the D? Let's flip it over. Very careful. This is the D. And we need a 2. Yep. Those little dudes. D2, D2, D2. How many D2s do I need? I only needed 2. Okay, well, I'm going to take these 2 D2s. Are you? Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, maybe the trick is to come over here. The attachment points just need a little convincing that it's time to come out. I think. Maybe. Yeah, let's push him back in. Carve just a little right there. I don't know how much persuasion it's going to need. So that one we'll put over there. They look identical, right? I don't think there's a difference. Hence the idea of identical. Went to a sushi restaurant the other day. There was a line around the corner outside the building. And I asked the guy, I'm like, yeah, could you give me an estimate of how long the wait might be? He goes, well, I can't give you an exact number. I'm like, well, that's what an estimate is. It's a guess. Educated guess. You just theorize. He looked at me like I'm, oh, jeez, he's old. What does he know? Well, I know what estimate means, first of all. Oh, boy. Okay, this one's being a little more challenging. So if you look at this piece, that is one tiny little piece. Can we tell where the connecting points were? So you can see there was one of them. So it's at the ends. This blade is almost too thick to get in there and do what I want it to do. But it's the thinnest blade I have. All right, there it goes. Whew. Crikey. Ooh, that's got a big chunk on it. Yeah, trimming stuff like this with a blade in your hand, not a lot of room to do it. Fortunately, it's easy to cut, and the danger of me injuring myself is small. See, if I go this way as I'm cutting, that's going with the layers of the plywood. If I go like this, I could like peel off like a layer or two or something. You wouldn't want that. So then you gotta get the CA glue, the cyanoacrylate. Okay, good enough. Now what do we do? Well, okay. Little, what are these? Are these turn signals or something? What's going on here? That goes in, the short tab goes in here, right? That looks right. Ooh. Well, that's in there pretty solidly. I don't know what these parts are, but that's where they go. Finding the proper way to hold things. Well, that didn't work. Just finished, well, finished. Most of the way finished putting new injectors in my car. It's like fiddling with stuff these days just seems to be what I do. Okay. That step done. Now we need 2 A4s. A4s. Here's our A sheet. And the 4s are whom are the, okay. So these 2 bits here. Let's see if we can notice some attachments. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little bit of a one there. A little bit of a one there. Wow, that is hard to see. And I got my viewing spectacles on. When you're working with this tiny stuff and you got old eyes, old's a relative term. We're all old in some way. If you're watching this video, you're probably not 5 years old. Maybe you are, I don't know, what do I know? If you're still watching this video, these kinds of things can really set some people off, you know? They're like, oh my God, I can't watch this. It's so tedious. And his voice. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. Hope you're having some fun. This is a much stiffer, right? If we look at the thicknesses of the different plywoods, right? It's much thicker, much more rigid. I'm a little less scared of really messing it up. Not immune to being scared. I'm just trying to press here. I'm going to probably leave little indentations. You hear it snap. Little. Uh-oh. That looked bad. I'm a little scared. How do you do this? Well, I guess this is half the fun. Just find your zen, find your space. Hopefully I'm still removing the right parts, right? A4s. Yeah, okay. Once you flip the thing over, it becomes easier to mess it up and think, oh, this was A4 on the other side. It must be A4 on this side. Like, nope. Dang, that is just angry. So, I was watching somebody do this who's done 1,000 of these. They'd probably just grab this thing and go, and they'd all fly out, and then it's like, yeah, there we go. Dang. That's actually a really strong piece. I was being way more careful than I needed to be. That's okay. I don't want to destroy it. So you can see that it goes all the way through. I was wondering if it was just like maybe part way through is the attaching little, I don't know, nibs. I don't know what to call them. Just making stuff up as I go along. Anybody who knows me knows I do that. And if you don't know me already, you're going to find that out. I probably do not need to be nearly as careful as I'm being. Especially with these thicker, stronger, more durable pieces, right? We're still enjoying ourselves. Okay. I could be doing some sanding on this, right? We got the little sanding guy. But it's like, the more you sand, the more you're gonna remove of the char marks where the laser, did its thing. So I don't know if I want to do that. If it goes together, I mean, I could always touch it up. I could mix some paint that was roughly this color and, dress it up or something. But okay, got those parts. Now we need some P28s. Springs. I'm guessing they're not made out of wood. But what do I know? Looking, you can't see. Here we go. Okay. So this is the LK504. I think that's the number on the box, right? Everything has an LK504 on it. 2-2 versus 2-1. It just tell you it's P28. Is that P28? Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, obviously, come on. There's 2 springs in here and there's 2 springs in the bag. It's got to be it. I'm just wondering how they go about doing that. Do they give you do they show you all the parts? Huh. Sometimes they'll show you like the entire kit. So there's the P28. It's a 2. It's a something. Okay. I think we're going to just take the risk and believe that that's the right thing. It's not much of a risk, is it, when you're pretty confident? A friend of mine's getting back from the UK today. I have such international friends. He was actually born there, visiting back in California today. Wish her all the best on her flight. All right, now what? What the? Okay. This is fun. This is part of the puzzle, right? Can I just spin it? Did they do that on purpose, or did they just end up that way? Okay. Okay. Oh, I didn't attach them. I was supposed to attach them in this step. So the part looks symmetrical, right? It's got this design. Keep bumping the, sorry about that. Looks like the design goes outward, right? And, oh, so we have these symbols. What were those symbols again? Sorry. You probably remember. Surface, backside. Surface, backside. Okay. And it goes through this guy up here. Put my thumb behind it to kind of support it as I'm pushing. Shouldn't have some coffee today. I used to work for a company where I had to do work under a microscope. And very fine, detailed stuff. And if I had a cup of coffee that morning, I was like useless. And that's back when I was a much younger man. Wow, that's actually fitting very nicely. Interesting, right? It's a little off, but by the time it gets finished, it'll probably be adjusted a little bit to align properly, right? So this is the front fender, you know, the forks of the motorcycle, the wheel's gonna be in here. And this is the shock absorber, you know, for the suspension. So that's step one. Maybe we should stop there. This has been a long video. You watch me learn a lot of stuff, almost break something, do something wrong. And there we are. Did I do it right? Okay. So can't mix these up except for this design's supposed to be out. So I think that's right. Cool. Hope you had fun. I did. I learned a lot. And so did you.